How's everybody doing today? Well, I got some rest. I am on my way back with a load behind me. I've got a unit I picked up yesterday. And so today, one of the subjects that came up in a comment was actually two comments. One guy was obviously talking about buying a used truck, something less expensive. And another guy brought up the comment of why not just, buy a truck used, run the piss out of it, and then rebuild the engine and transmission and continue onward. It kind of got me thinking, guys, because once in a blue moon 10 years ago, when I was a lot younger, I was in a similar situation where I couldn't spend 50 grand. I didn't have the credit, didn't have the money. So I did buy a truck, but I ended up getting a used truck. It was less money. So I said to myself, you know what? I need to just do something that will show somebody starting out like that. Somebody who doesn't have the means to go and get, a truck, brand new truck. And then there's those guys that don't want to spend that kind of money. It's just sometimes it's a personal choice as well. They don't see their themselves that it makes good business sense to go buy a brand new $45,000, $50,000 truck. So what I did, guys, is I went and started doing some research for you guys. And I went online, went to Auto Trader, and I looked for trucks that were going to be under $40,000. And I found several trucks. So I took a picture of that to show the prices and the trucks. They're in my area in Houston, so take that into account. But here they are. I'm going to let you see them, and then we'll continue the conversation. So here we go. Chevy, Ford, Dodge, a couple of years old, 38,000 approximately, with 20 to 30,000 miles. And if you look a couple of seconds later, you'll see monthly calculator, assuming 35 plus tax, title, license, and getting your warranty at $40,000, you'd be able to get 5%. You'd be looking at $755 a month. So, guys, you saw there the monthly payments and the type of trucks I was talking about. I also did some calculations. $300 a month would take exactly 1 year and 6 months off of that note. So again, $755. You tag on some $300 extra a month, you'd be looking at $1,055 a month, and basically you would have warranty. Again, I said you need to negotiate that too, guys. So I'm assuming you get $35,000 for the truck. You negotiate a decent deal. I think that'd be a good price. You turn around and have a couple of $1,000s down just to pay your taxes and title and license, and at that point, also you get the warranty, which if you do that, you're going to spend, and it's hard to say, guys. Again, you need to negotiate those things, but assuming that you maybe get it for $2,000-$3,000, you could end up financing less than 40, somewhere around maybe 38. So maybe your payment would drop about, like I said, every $1,000 is $20. So you maybe drop it down from $755 to about $715. So just depends. Like I said, I'm not saying you can't get a better deal than what I just showed you. I'm just giving you an example of real stuff, what's really out there right now. And so that's basically the way I would show that. It's an awesome deal, guys. To be able to get into a truck and pay it off in 3 years for $1,000, that's, to me, that's great. You could do that, establish your credit, and maybe the next time around, buy yourself that new truck if that's what you want to do, and maybe get a good interest rate, and buy it at the right time when they're giving away all the good incentives, and then that way you could start with a new truck, which is basically what I had to do. I bought that first used truck, paid it real well, paid everything, had started my credit all over again, and by the time I got through with that truck, I was able to step up and get a newer truck, and then finally I got me a new truck after that second time around. So that's basically the guys, one way of doing it. I'm not saying that's the only way. I do this and I let the chips fall where they may. So it's just, here it is. It's in front of you. You can make your decisions and say, hey, that's a good deal, or no, I don't like that. And maybe even look for a cheaper truck. Maybe you want to spend 30 grand. Maybe that's all you can spend. Again, just do a little research. Maybe a little older truck. You're probably looking at from 2 years old, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years old, and maybe a little bit more miles. You can try to find one with lower miles too, also, if you do your research. But the other thing that the other guy brought up was, okay, how about let's just take the truck, run the piss out of it. When the engine gives out, just replace the engine. So here you go, guys. Here's a couple of shots of what I found out there just for parts. So guys, 2014 6.7 power stroke engine from Ford. You're looking at 13 grand, not including core charge. And transmission, if you're looking at that, core charge also included, not included, $6,000. And that's just going for parts, just for the assemblies. So as you can see, guys, that's 20 grand just for the engine and transmission. Because it wouldn't make sense if you blow your engine or if you blow the transmission to just replace one. You're going to have all this equipment now. You might as well do both. And for the simple fact that if your engine blows, for example, and you replace it, remember, you're going to have a new engine. It has much more compression. It has much more power. And you're going to put it and tag it next to a transmission that's going to conceivably have 500,000 miles and hasn't been touched. And guys, you're going to end up coming back and doing it. So you might as well do it all at once. But the thing I'm looking at is, okay, in the scenario I showed you earlier, even in the new truck scenario, you're going to get back $7,000. I showed you that. That's worst case scenario. You might be able to get a little bit more money for your truck. But assuming that you get 7 grand for let's just say for the sake of showing you. And I didn't tell you either that when I did some research on these trucks, I did look at them 5 years old from now with high miles, and guys, they're still bringing in mid to high teens. They didn't have any for 400,000 miles. They were like 270, 250. But still, it goes to show you guys, you're still going to get good money back for your truck if it's well taken care of, if you service it right, and you'll get you get part of your investment returned to you. So, it's just assuming here that you paid 40 grand for the truck with the warranty, and you didn't have any of those expenses up front as far as warranty work. So you got that taken care of. You decided to move on with the truck at 3 years. Again, when you get rid of it at 3 years, guys, you maybe owe 6 months, but remember, you're going to get that money back because they're going to give you the value of your truck. So when that happens, you're just going to basically, those last $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, whatever that amount is, it's going to be a wash. You're getting that money back. It's going to pay the loan off. So in a sense, it means that you didn't pay 40 grand for it, right? You only paid, in this case, 33,000. So they gave you the money back. You went and bought a new truck. And again, you go back in, or a used truck, and you go back into it for another 40 grand. And so again, you remember that truck's going to give you back, at the end of the service, it'll give you back some money. So you're into this next truck. Again, 34,000. You're going to have warranty on it again. You're not going to have to worry about it, major breakdowns and stuff like that. So I just showed you guys $20,000 plus labor. And guys, you're looking at least 5-6 grand for labor. Okay, this is not going to be no $1,000 job. They have to completely remove the engine. It's a long block, but you still have to take off all the other items that are on the engine, the alternator, the air conditioner, all those accessories that are on the serpentine belt. They have to transfer all that. The wiring harness, they're going to have to remove all the wires and then put them back together. It's a major undertaking, guys, not to mention downtime. So I don't know how long the truck would be down, but it's not going to take a day. So let's just assume it takes a week. So you're down for a week. You had to go and buy yourself a new engine and transmission. And in most cases, you don't plan for this. This is just going to happen and you're on the side of the road. So what are you going to do at that point? Are you going to pull the truck over from Illinois to Texas? Would I? Which, again, you're paying shipping. The very thing that you're doing. So you're going to have to put it on top of a flatbed and tow it, which, those are the X factors that I can't even begin to tell you guys where this would happen. But if you thought about it and you plan it out, and let's just say you really did that diligence, and you say, okay guys, I'm going to replace the engine. Once I start seeing some problems, if you're taking engine analysis, you'll start to see those issues ahead of time before it starts to happen, so you can actually start planning. That's another good part about taking in engine oil analysis. So if you did that, you took that into effect, and you ordered all this stuff. Remember, you're also going to have to put money up front to pay for the core charge. You'll get the money back, but you still have to cough the money up front. So guys, you're going to end up spending 22 grand. If you have to put $2,000-$3,000 for each core charge, that's another 5-6 grand you're going to have to put on top of your 20, so you're into 25. Then you got to pay the mechanic, and that's 5-6 grand to do the job. You got to get a diesel mechanic, so it's not going to be no regular gas car mechanic. So guys, here's my point. By the time it's all said and done, you get your cores back, you got to pay tax, you're going to have to get all this done. Guys, you're into it for 25 grand. And the good thing is the engines have a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty from Ford. I didn't check the transmission, but does it really make sense? Not to mention the downtime. You're going to probably be down at least a week. That whereas if you were to take the truck, trade it in, you may be down a day or two. Take all your tanks and all your stuff that you've put onto the truck, switch them over to the next truck. That could take a day to do the deal. You research it while you're driving around like I do, and then you get home and you go look at the truck and say, yeah, okay, and work a deal with your old truck, and then say, okay, take your truck down somewhere, or you're going to do it yourself, pull all the stuff off of it that you need to put onto your new truck, buy your new truck, and then go ahead and do the same thing, put everything back together. That might take a couple of days. And then guess what? You're back on the road, you have warranty, you have a new truck from, or a newer truck from top to bottom. Does it really make sense to save $5 grand, $6 grand? And again, guys, remember, there's no warranty on any of the other stuff. Your brakes, your suspension, your leaf springs, your frame, wheel bearings, all that stuff is not going to have any more warranty on it. So, your electronics inside the truck, does it make good business sense to do that? I don't know. I mean, I'm just, in my mind, no. Why would I want to spend? And here's the other part, guys, I forgot to mention. That 25 grand, that's cash out of your pocket. Either you're going to have to run it with a credit card, or you're going to have it pull it out of your savings. Versus going and borrowing the money from the credit union for 2-3% on a new truck. So that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm doing this to show you. A lot of guys will just start going into it and say, oh, let's just put a new engine, and then they start putting the new engine into the truck, and then they start spending more money, and then they didn't take the step back. Like what I'm trying to do here for you guys right now is basically look at it from a holistic manner. Look at it from the whole picture. When you're spending that money, you're done, you got the truck running. I had one guy told me he spent just on the engine, guys. I'm not even talking the transmission. He had a 2012 or 2011 Ford Super Duty 6.7, and he said he had one of the early versions. So at 260,000 miles, the engine blew. he turned around and had to put a new engine in it. Well, he told me that it cost him $17,000 for that new engine. Didn't have any warranty. I don't know how much he paid for the truck or what he bought as far as mileage and how much he paid for it. But again, guys, that was just the engine, parts and labor. He told me, and now he's got like 200,000 miles on that engine. But again, now his transmission has 400,000 miles, so who knows how long that's going to last him. And at that point, did it make good sense? I don't know. I mean, he told me that he had all that money saved up. He was saving his money, and he was doing pretty good. And when that happened, he pretty much told me that it basically wiped him out. It wiped out his savings. Again, do you want to be broke and your truck's paid for, or have that money in your bank account, take a couple of thousand out that if you want to put a few thousand down on the next truck, and then just continue making the payment and let the truck pay for itself? In other words, what I mean is, when you're driving and earning money with it, that's the money you take out to pay the truck. Why are you going to take the money out of your own pocket and wait 3 years to get that money back? Because essentially that's what you're doing. You're saving 2% interest, 3% interest. If you get a good deal right now, Dodge has got 0% interest. Why would it make any sense for you to go spend $30,000-$40,000 on a truck and then have to wait 3 or 4 years to get the money back? Because essentially that's what you're going to have to wait for, and you're not even going to get interest back on it. So it's like, why? I don't know. I'm not going to say yay or nay. I'm just pointing out the what I see. So think about it. Some guys will just say, no, I'm going to fix it myself. I had a buddy of mine that was like that. You know what? He just believes in fixing everything himself, and he never really paid attention to, at the end of the day, was it saving him money? How much downtime did he have? He never paid attention to any of that stuff, and he still continues to this day. And that's because he's in the medical field. So right now he could afford to just have somebody take care of it for him, but he prefers to do it, and I just don't know if it's because that's the way he is what it comes down to. Some people like to do it themselves. More power to them, but at the end of the day, guys, this is a business, and when you're in a business, personally, he can do that. That's for example, that's his personal thing he likes to do, on his boats and his cars and stuff like that. And these aren't business items. These are just his personal things. But when we're talking about this is not personal, guy. This is your business. This is your livelihood, and you can't afford to be down. You've got to be up and running. You don't want to risk more breakdowns, because what happens when you have more breakdowns? No money coming in. You're spending money and you have no money coming in, so it's a double whammy for you. So that's what you're trying to avoid. That's why I'm trying to show you guys that that's where you want to try to eliminate spending any money when you go and you break down, and you want to try to eliminate as much downtime as possible. So that's the reason why you need to keep a relatively new truck. Keep a new truck that doesn't have as many miles, and that way you can keep running. You want to keep going, because if you're not going and you're not running, you're not making money. My buddy Paul, like him, love him. He's a good friend of mine. He's still working out there for Horizon. Talked to him the other day. He finally went out and bought that 450 and everything. But even then, it still took him. By the time he said he got the fifth wheel mounted, had to go to Horizon, get the new paperwork submitted, and do everything, he was still down for like a week or two. So that's all money. And he was telling me, he's like, dude, I'm broke. I'm like, yeah, dude. Because of that breakdown he had with that truck he had. But can you imagine if he would have had to have gone and whipped out money to go fix that truck? He'd still be sitting at home right now, waiting for that truck to get fixed. Parts. Sometimes you can't get a hold of them. Sometimes the mechanic has got other work in front of you. You don't know where that's going to take you. So it's just because this is business, guys. Think about it from a business point of view. Think about your primary functions. Stay running as long as you can, and avoid costly breakdowns and downtime. So hope this helps you guys. Hope this helps you out. You got any comments or questions, put them up there. If you like them, please like my video. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. So y'all have a good one, and y'all take care if you're out on the road. And I'll put up another video here soon with some other stuff that will be, I think, important for what we do, what I do, and what you might want to be doing. Thanks, man. Y'all take care.